Hello everybody and welcome to Astro Tidbits with your friend Gretchen Heidel. This is This Week in Astrology. I will be going over the week from Monday 2/22/21 all the way until 2/28 in February 2021. So welcome everybody who is joining me live. I'm Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and so much more. And I am excited about this week. This week is a busy week astrologically. Some good, some bad, but I mean, it's going to be an interesting, we'll just say an interesting mixture. So if you are just joining me live, go ahead and type your name below. I'd love to hear who's watching, what your astrological sign is, and also where you are tuning in from. I love talking to people all across the United States and the world, and it's amazing. I think it's so cool that we get to do this. So yes, Rita joined on Facebook here. I'm also live on Instagram as well. And then I'll also be posting this to my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to me already, I'm the only Gretchen Heidel, I think, on the internet. So you can find me pretty easily. Melinda, hello, welcome. Rita, Virgo from Colorado. We're going to be talking a lot about Virgo energy tonight because the full moon is coming in Virgo. Oh, July. Hey, welcome, July from Vermont. Welcome. And there are a bunch of people joining on Instagram as well. Nobody said hi yet. Wendy, hello, welcome. Monday Night Fix, yes. Aquarius. Oh, you sent a cell phone holder? Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much. Jean Moonwolf, yes. Taurus, overload with Capricorn baby. Yes, we're going to talk about a lot about Taurus and Capricorn tonight as well. So if you're just joining me live, welcome. I have Blonde Ambition Violet. I always say that name. It's great. Violet she's a Cancer from South Carolina. So welcome. Iris, Aries, love my sweater. Oh, thank you. Welcome. This is like a little ode to Valentine's wear, I guess. I was I was still in the Valentine's mode. I start wearing a lot of pink this time of year. I don't know what prompts me, but I love pink. Pink's the heart chakra. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like pink, but I love pink because it's the heart chakra. So anyway, Katrina, hello, formerly from Vermont, welcome. Now she's in Maine. Lori, hello, Lori, welcome. Santa Cruz Mountains, oh cool, California. Libra, welcome. Gina, hey, Gina Aries from Burlington, Vermont. So I am going to get started. So we have a busy week, astrologically speaking, and I saw somebody, an astrologer, post that February was going to end quietly, and I couldn't disagree more. I don't think February is ending quietly. We have a bunch of energy this coming week. So on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, by the way, are pretty, we'll just say a little quieter. But what we're going to be feeling for all week really is what's going to be happening on Wednesday. Plus, we got the full moon coming. But on Wednesday, Mars is going to form a trine with Pluto. Okay, so Mars, the god of war, trining or playing around with Pluto, the god of the underworld. That's a little, now trine in astrology is good, okay? And you'll see a lot of people posting, oh, it means that we have so much energy and we're going to feel so wonderful. And yes, I also posted some similar things about increased energy and whatever, but remember the players. So even though trines are trines and trines are positive, it's like the god of war playing around with the lord of the underworld. That's not exactly positive. I mean, that's kind of scary a little bit. So it only happens once a year, just to let you know. So it's an annual event. And so we're going to get it right out of the way this year, which is good in February here. But Pluto, Lauren said, not with Pluto. Pluto trines are bad news bears. I love that, Lauren. Welcome. That's basically what the deal is. Hey, Virginia. Hey, Colette. Welcome. I mean, lots of Pluto energy. So Pluto, can be really hardcore. And so even though they're trines and they're positive associations, meaning that they're in the same element. So what that means is we're going to have Mars is going to be in Taurus and Pluto is going to be in Capricorn. The peak, the height, the pinnacle of this thing is going to end up being on Wednesday at 8:52 p.m. Eastern time. Earlier than that if you're on the West Coast, 5:52 p.m. West Coast time. However, remember, it's going to be active all week. That's just the peak of it or the pinnacle of it. So here's how this rolls. I mean, it is a positive trine. We'll just say that. So, it can increase energy, especially if you're one of those two signs, so Taurus or Capricorn, or if you're an Aries or Scorpio, because, Mars is Aries and Pluto is Scorpio. They're the rulers of those two signs. So you're going to be feeling this a lot, but especially if you're an earth sign, Virgo too. Virgo is going to be feeling some of this stuff. So it's an interesting thing where we basically are going to be having this trine, and it is going to increase energy, drive, ambition, motivation, lust. Okay. So this is a very sexual kind of thing, but here's the problem with this is that when we look at sexuality, because Mars is raw sort of sexuality, Pluto's power. And that can be a misuse of these things. Pluto can be a misuse of sexuality, and there's all these different things going on with that. So we have a lot of ambition, drive, motivation this week, yes. And so how do we kind of navigate all that? I think the best way to navigate all of that stuff is basically to be active physically. Okay, it's not stagnant. This is not stagnant, inactive energy. It's active energy. Okay, it means that we need to be active and maybe walking or doing something that we can kind of get into this sort of energy, using it up, in other words, in a positive way. Now this is ambition, this is drive, this is motivation. So let's say you're a person that's normally quiet or shy, or you have trouble sticking up for yourself, or you have trouble self-advocating. Well, this is the time to do it, okay? This week is the time to do that stuff, okay? If you really need to step up, you need to really stand up for yourself and say, this is what I need and this is what I want. As long as you're not overly aggressive and putting something in a defensive mode, this could be a fantastic week for that, okay? Anything where you need a little gumption, a little, get up and go and get up and went, this is that type of week, okay? It just means that you need to, kind of stand up for yourself and fight. Mars is fighting, okay? So Pluto's can also be fighting too. So that's a lot of energy right there. But if you're somebody who already, I always use the analogy almost like you're actually driving a Prius, but you think you're driving a Prius, but you actually are driving a Mack truck. That's basically what the deal is. Okay, so you're just like, you think, like if you're the type of person that's like pretty loud, pretty aggressive normally, pretty in people's faces, this could topple us over into that and kind of make us a little too aggressive and a little too fighting and a little too much. So it'll be an interesting thing. Whenever Mars and Pluto get together, I'll say this one thing. I'll just say this out loud. The one good thing I think that has come from this pandemic, which there's not super tons of great stuff coming from the pandemic, but the one good thing, and we got a pretty gruesome alert today that unfortunately in our country now 500,000 people have passed away from the virus. But the one good news is there has not been any school shootings, or very little. So, this is one of those transits. Mars and Pluto coming together is one of those transits. Normally I would be saying, well, there might be a mass shooting this week, or some kind of school bombing, or some horrible thing. But now we don't have those as much. So that's, I guess, one positive, I guess, if we're going to have a positive come out of the pandemic, that could be it. But it is a trine kind of energy, because Pluto is the lord of the underworld. So think about secrets, think about stuff that's hidden, think about needing to dig and do an excavation kind of your soul. You know, that's all that Pluto stuff. Pluto can be a lot of like triggers of your subconscious and unconscious mind. Somebody could accidentally like trigger us, or, you know, there could be something like that. So I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm trying to do a mass broadcast here so that I can give everybody kind of an idea of what this could be like. Now, also, this can be definitely addictions as well. I mean, Pluto is anything that's kind of extreme. So it can be extreme addictions, it can be anger, it can be all those kind of things. But let's say you're a person that doesn't have any of that stuff going on. You're mostly you're not mentally ill, you don't have addictions, you're living a peaceful life, you're pretty trigger free. This can just show up as just a lot of extra energy and a lot of extra gumption and a lot of extra let's get this done, let's get this done, let's get this done. But if you're a person that has like some trauma or, you know, underlying, you know, triggers or underlying stuff that's going on beneath the surface, well, then, you know, Pluto can for sure trigger those things during these types of transits. Now, like I said, the peak, the pinnacle, the height is on Wednesday. So we're going to feel it Monday, Tuesday. We might even have been feeling this last weekend already. And we'll continue to feel it all week. It's just that the peak date of it is going to be on Wednesday. So you'll have to all let me know how you guys experience this energy. I love, let's see, Joanne said, interesting, anything around how to stand out better for yourself when negative is slammed against you over and over to the point where you want to shut down? Oh no, honey. Yeah, I mean, what I would say this week is a much more like gumption and being able to just step into your own personal power. The power center, when we think about the chakras, the power center, okay, is solar plexus. And I'm going to be talking a bit about solar plexus. I can answer some of that question for you, Joanne, when I talk about Virgo. I'm going to be talking a bit about the solar plexus, but I'll start talking about it now. The solar plexus chakra is like the belly button chakra. Okay, it's the energy center of the belly, and it rules over digestion. It's associated with like gallbladder, stomach, upper intestines, you know, like the peritoneum area, you know, the middle belly area. And a lot of times people have fear and worry associated with that area, but that's the area of the body that's self-confidence, okay? So when we talk about Virgo, I'm going to be talking about Virgo in a moment because of the full moon coming, but when we want to increase our confidence, first of all, the best way to increase our confidence is to when we feel competent, we tend to feel more confident. So that's one thing, okay? But the other thing is that, you know, getting into your alignment, getting into your belly space, your chakra, learning how to believe in yourself. It is associated, I showed my citrine because it's associated with the color yellow, and also citrine is that area of the body. So I hope that helps. But you know, knowing that you're good, you're okay. You know, a lot of times when we have, you know, someone attacking us or coming after us or doing whatever, I mean, it's hard to, like, we get thrown off balance, but in some ways we need to be impervious to what, you know, there's a saying in 12-step programs, like, what other people think of me is none of my business. You know, and it's something that I think is a great thing that we can all live by, is it's none of our business what people believe, because people believe all kinds of things, you know. Sometimes people do stuff that is just like, you know, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, like maybe like unfriending us on Facebook or like for no reason seemingly, and it's easy to kind of make up our stories around this whole thing, you know, or that they're coming from a negative space. But usually when someone's like attacking us or hitting us with a bunch of negativity, it's because they're negative. They have their own negativity. they have their own negativity and they're negative people. And so oftentimes we, that they just, people are kind of exuding those things from their life. And that's kind of, I usually feel sorry for those people. I tend to feel empathy for them because they must be tortured, they must be tortured if they're coming after, they're coming after somebody like that, or it's like, what else? You probably don't even have anything else to do with your life. That's what I always think about those people, Joanne. So I hope that helps. But yeah, this week is a fighting week. So we want to, I always say you can't fight with yourself. So if you walk away, you say, hey, loud voices scare me. I don't need to hear that. That's a great way to talk about your feelings, not you said this and you did that, but you can really say, hey, loud voices scare me, and then walk away. And that's a great way to kind of, like, if someone's really coming at you, you can often diffuse situations like that. Or I feel frightened right now, and then walk away, so talk about your feelings. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So if it's directed at you specifically, that's what I always think. It's like, well, that's them. That's what they what they want to think. And that's all you can do. Behind the scenes also, I've talked about this technique before, and then I'll move on because we got more coming even than that. What I like to do is when someone is being that way with me, or if I'm having a little interaction with someone that's not going well, I just imagine how I want it to turn out in my mind's eye. I imagine how I want it to turn out. That's a great manifestation energy technique. So let's say you're fighting with your spouse, okay? And I'm just using this as an example. Let's say you're fighting with your spouse and you're really getting into it. And this takes consciousness. This is like more high level stuff, but this takes some consciousness to be able to go, I want to visualize us making up, us hugging, us, maybe coming together at the end. So then visualize that, how you want it to turn out. Maybe you don't even want to hug that person. Maybe you just want to be able to say hi and have that person say hi back, and have it be civil and have nobody's growling at each other. Just visualize that. And not only visualize it, but kind of feel it in your body. You have to feel it in your physical body. It takes a lot of practice to do that. So it's hard to stay conscious when you're in the middle of, having stuff, go down. So I hope that helps. But that will definitely benefit some of you guys out there. This week is a little topsy-turvy. Again, this is a positive trine, but 2 negative players. So Mars and Pluto tend to be a little on the grumpy side. So they're playing with each other right now. And, it's just like the Tasmanian devil is playing with, a hyena or something, those two, it could go wrong at any moment, it's like, so hopefully that helps. And then the next day we have 2 big things. On Thursday, on February 25th, we have 2 big things. We have the sun forming a positive sextile with Uranus, okay? And the sun's going to be in Pisces and Uranus is in Taurus, okay? And that's a good kind of thing, except Uranus is anxiety. So I've already been talking to some people that are texting me or asking me questions about anxiety, like right now, they've been like feeling anxious, they've been feeling like turbulent, and this increases anxiety as well. Now, I spoke to you guys last week about how Uranus and Neptune were active and everything, and we talked about Mercury retrograde, and I had said during the broadcast that Texas was going to have a horrible problem, and indeed it did. And I didn't even know at the time the broadcast was going on. I hadn't watched the news, so I didn't see that was all going down. So for those folks in Texas, I'm sending lots of positive vibes. I hope everybody on the broadcast does as well, because it was hardcore. But Uranus, whenever Uranus gets involved, it's like unexpected. It is electricity, which is why I brought that Texas thing up. It's electricity. It's anything that's, you know, a shake-up or unexpected event. Now, again, these are sextiles. Sextiles are positive. Pisces is water, Uranus is earth. Pisces is water, and then Uranus is in Taurus, which is earth. Okay, so earth needs water, and these two, you know, okay, could vibe well together. The sun is actually a wonderful, great planet, but it's playing around with Uranus, which can be at any moment very erratic and changeable and shocking and surprising. So when we get into Thursday at 4:13 p.m. is the height of it, the peak of this thing. And so that thing could make us be a little bit on edge, you know, feel a little bit like, oh God, you know, feeling sometimes even during Uranus transit, people will call me and be like, I don't know why, but I'm so anxious, or I don't know why, but I feel so weird, and I don't know why. So it's like one of those things that we tend to feel these things on the physical plane, you know. By the way, Uranus is anything to do with the electrical system of the body. So it can be migraine headaches, it can be seizures, it can be heart palpitations, it can be all kinds of spasms and things like that is shaky. Okay, so just keep an eye out. Now again, if we look at it on a positive side, because this is a positive transit, it's unexpected creativity. It's a time where somebody could unexpectedly serve as a good teacher to you, or a muse, or a guide in some way. Often with Uranus transits, by the way, channeling tends to be increased. If you have any predisposition to claircognizance, channeling tends to be increased during Uranus transits, like you don't know why, but you just know. Or light bulb moments, like what did Oprah Winfrey say? Light bulb moments or aha moments, you know, where you come up with like an epiphany. That's Uranus things too. I always say Uranus moves very fast with lightning speed. Okay, Uranus rules over lightning too. So go ahead and write down these positive, these sudden ideas that we get, or inspiration. I call Uranus the muse, actually, because even though it's shocking and unexpected, and that part of Uranus is annoying and can be like jarring to the system, it also serves again as a muse or a guide. If you are enjoying this broadcast, by the way, like and share with your friends, and go ahead and post below if you're just joining what your astrological sign is and where you're tuning in from. But anytime you guys repost the post or tag a friend in the post, it helps the algorithm of the post to get going, and it's all good. More people can know. Oh, Katrina, I love that. Katrina was commenting, and I'll say it out loud because I think it's great. Visualize yourself surrounded by a hedge of roses, the thorns to protect you and the roses to comfort others. Oh, I love that. I love that idea. That's a great one. But yeah, visualization is a great, powerful tool for a lot of this energy work. When we're doing that, it can be very powerful. So we have that Mars trine Pluto, and then we have the Sun sextile Uranus on Wednesday and on Thursday. So the middle of this week could be clunky. Okay, we're just going to say that. It can be a little jarring or shocking or something, but what's lovely about it? Talk about roses. Okay, I got my roses on my shirt. Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. Let's talk about something fun. Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, is moving into Pisces on Thursday at 8:11 a.m. Eastern time. So again, earlier than that if you're out on the West Coast. And Pisces is the goddess of love and beauty, okay? She's usually in each sign about 1 month, roughly. So she'll be in Pisces until the 21st of March, the day right after the spring equinox. We're almost at the spring equinox. We got 1 month to go. So we are in Pisces season now, okay? So last Thursday on the 18th, we started Pisces season. The sun went into Pisces. Now we have Venus going into Pisces, and Venus in Pisces I believe it's exalted, because it is like meaning that it's really strong in Pisces. So Pisces is so romantic. Oh my gosh, so romantic. That's why I was saying, I was saying one time on the broadcast about how Valentine's Day really should be in Pisces. If we, it's an Aquarius, so it's kind of like the love of everybody and the love of friends, and that's a beautiful sentiment. But if you're talking about you want to have some hardcore, like, sentimental, more lovey-dovey, smushy, cushy, gushy stuff, that is Venus and Pisces for sure. Or even Pisces season. A lot of Pisces are very, very romantic. Now, it's not as much, Venus is not as sexual as it is sensual, except for we have that Mars and Pluto trine, which can definitely be raw and primal and sexual and just, that kind of stuff. I mean, like the real, like, rip your clothes off kind of stuff. But Venus in Pisces is like, let's light some candles, let's slow down. It's definitely feminine energy for sure. Pisces is more of a feminine sign, even the men. Kelsey Grammer from Frasier, if anybody remembers that show Frasier, a lot of people, astrologers, have felt that Kelsey Grammer, his character Frasier, was very Pisces-like, being a male Pisces, and it's not ironic that Kelsey Grammer, the actor, is also Pisces. So he like played that character so well. And, that tends to be a Piscean man, is a little bit more like that. So, anyway, getting back, I digress. Venus in Pisces is all about the fantasy. It's the fantasy. That's the only problem with Venus in Pisces. It's like, it can get so lost down that fantasy. So lost. It's like those rose-colored glasses that we're wearing the whole time. We just want to see them as the best, and they're just so beautiful and wonderful. And he doesn't have a job, or she didn't do this or this, but they're just the greatest. That's Venus and Pisces. So we got to watch for idealism during this next month or so. It depends on where Pisces is in your own personal chart that's getting highlighted right now, the Pisces energy, because the sun is in Pisces right now, and now also Venus is going to be in Pisces. So we're getting into Pisces season. So it depends on where Pisces is in your chart, but I'll say that it's definitely a romantic sign, but the problem is it can be very ungrounded in reality. Pisces hates looking at the reality of situations. A lot of Pisces love to pick partners based on potential and hope and the fantasy, and getting very caught up in, like, it's meant to be, and this and that and the next thing and all this kind of stuff. So it's one of those things that we have to kind of watch that energy, that Piscean energy, because it can go so far down into that fantasy land. A lot of Pisces, I'm reeling them in, and we got to look at the reality of it. But right now we're not going to. We're going to look at the fantasy of it, and we're going to look at our hopes and dreams and serendipity and potential and all this kind of stuff. So, hopefully we can have a little bit of reality mixed in with some of the fantasy. That's what it would be an ideal kind of thing to do. Now we then move toward the full moon, and I'm going to talk a bit about the full moon here because it is involving Pisces as well. Whenever whatever sign we're in, so right now we're in Pisces season, that means the full moon is going to be in the opposite sign of that sign, just so that you know. So Pisces, what's the opposite of Pisces? It's Virgo. So the full moon during Pisces season is going to be Virgo, just so you know, because a lot of people think for some reason that it's random, and it's totally not random. It is always that way. So the full moon is going to take place really kind of overnight between Friday and Saturday. So the peak of it, the height of it, the maximum peak, apex is what it's called, is going to be on Saturday morning early at 3:17 a.m. Eastern time, or just after midnight, 12:17 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, okay? And that will be at 8 degrees Virgo. So it depends on where 8 degrees Virgo is in your astrological chart in order to know how this will affect you on a personal level. But if you are Virgo or if you're a Pisces, you will be in the heart ground zero at that thing. So what that means is, and I always use my selenite wand to show you, on one hand, the moon is in Virgo, 8 degrees, and on the other side, the sun is 8 degrees Pisces, and that's what causes the full moon to happen. The sun and moon are always opposite of each other. Now, they're opposing each other, which means that they're kind of, I don't want to say arguing, but they're not getting along as well, right? And so the axis of Pisces and Virgo will be activated. So on one hand, we have that what I was just saying about Venus and Pisces, where we have a very more idealistic way of looking at things. Pisces is a lot more creative, more abstract, more esoteric, more mystical. It's all the other senses that that you can't see, hear, feel, smell, touch. It's like it can be connection to God, Allah, Buddha, whoever it is you pray to, like a higher consciousness. That's Pisces. Virgo, on the other hand, is like all the practical steps, like it's we're going to have a return then to feeling practical, wanting to know all the steps, being perfectionistic, having all of the little things figured out. It's definitely one of those things that basically we will be experiencing when the full moon is in Virgo. So I pulled out some stones that I thought could help us during this particular full moon. Now, you're going to definitely feel this if you're one of the mutable signs, okay? So Virgo and Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, they're all the mutables. If you are also another earth sign, so if you are Taurus, of course, Virgo or Capricorn, you'll feel this as well. Fire signs might have a little bit of a problem with this, might not feel as good during this, because basically fire signs, my phone's falling again. Somebody said that they mailed me a holder, so, and we'll see how that goes, but I'm trying to get my phone up. But basically fire signs don't get along as well with earth signs, unless if you have a lot of earth already in your chart. They might be the ones, so the Aries, the Leos, and the Sagittariuses might not necessarily do as well with this. And of course it does matter what house, in other words, Virgo is in your chart. But you will feel this as we get closer to Friday, and then even into Saturday, we'll be feeling the height of this. So Virgo, I was saying, Joanne, that I was going to talk about the solar plexus chakra, because Virgo is associated, and it's not sexy, but we got to talk about it. Virgo is associated with the intestines. It's digestion. Whew. Yeah, fun subject. So Virgos a lot of times do have problems with digestion. They have problems with, we're just going to go there, constipation, sometimes diarrhea, sometimes like just IBS, Crohn's disease, colitis, food allergies, whatever. Okay, so that's basically one of those things that is a Virgo, very Virgo, kind of thing. So I did talk about the solar plexus chakra, okay, being activated, so the tummy, okay. And we want to make sure that our tummy is good, okay, and we have good digestive health, like by taking probiotics and eating fermented foods and all of those wonderful things. Now, if you do have some, we'll just say, irritation or upset of the intestines, one of the stones that's supposed to be very good for that is actually not smoky quartz, Snowflake obsidian. I had to think of the word. Snowflake obsidian. So I'm trying to show Instagram, and I have a piece here that you can see. It looks like little snowflakes in the obsidian, and this is also very good for protection. Okay, so if you need Joanne protection, snowflake obsidian is very good for protection as well. So that's a thing. I have my phone is falling again, even though I put a piece of tape on it and was holding it in place. So that's a good thing to use. And I think this is Dalmatian jasper. I thought this was snowflake obsidian when I grabbed it, but now that I'm looking at it in the light, I think this is Dalmatian jasper. But this could also work for Virgo as well. And I really like, moss agate for Virgo. Moss agate looks like a little world. But this is such a grounding. When we think of Virgo, I think of forests and moss and trees and just like all that lovely earth energy. It is said actually in astrology the best doctors are Virgos, or have a lot of Virgo in their chart. It is associated with nutrition, it's associated with herbals, it's associated with whatever. So definitely doing this is nice and grounding and earthing. I do like to take a walk in the forest, or if you guys can, I don't know if everybody has access to that, but walking in the forest and doing all that kind of stuff is also very helpful for Virgo. Virgo, you have to mind your nervous system, okay, during Virgo, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, okay, and Mercury can cause us sometimes to have some anxiety and some kind of nervous, anxious. I don't know if any of you Virgos are watching tonight, but you can comment. But yeah, a lot of Virgos have anxiety stuff, problems, or little things. So so if you need some grounding, going out into the forest can help you. Yes, the color, somebody said, Wendy said, if you don't have the stone, can you wear the same color in clothing? Absolutely. So green, when I think of Virgo, I think green. So any of the green stones. So I had moss agate, but you could use malachite. You could use, I think this is jade or aventurine, and this might be another piece. All the green stones. Okay, you guys can wear green, just to bring it into that good thing. Now we want to look at the axis of Pisces and Virgo, because basically Pisces teaches Virgo and Virgo teaches Pisces. See, both of them, even though they seem opposite, they learn from each other. Pisces is like, screw schedules. I don't want to be super organized. Let's just calm down and chill out. Let's go meditate and pray. And Virgo is like, yeah, but I got to vacuum and I got to dust and I got to get all my organizing done. And so Pisces could benefit from some Virgo energy, and Virgo can benefit from Pisces energy. Like, it goes each way. Virgo really longs to do some more creative stuff and just to drift and dream and imagine. And Pisces longs, a lot of time Pisces wants to be more organized and more focused and planned, So the two actually could learn a lot from each other. But on Saturday, Friday night into Saturday, we're going to have actually both of those sides are going to be activated, and that's going to be, where we're going to get some of the learning on both sides. We'll feel pulled on in either direction, and that's what makes full moons, a time of a peak, a time of an exaltation of the energy. It's the time where it's a peak and ending. Okay, sometimes something ends on full moons, or it peaks out, it maxes out, it's done. It's just like the big peak of it. Now, all of this energy started on the last new moon in Virgo, and that was September 17th, 2020 was when we started this cycle, and that was new moon in Virgo. So between then and now, we're at the peak of that whole thing that we just went through, that whole process. Can't believe it's already, we went from September to here, but we're here. So yeah, Wendy said, funny, my mom is a Virgo and she got excited about you painting tonight and wants to start doing it herself. Yes. Ashley, I'm a Virgo. You have Mercury, Mars, Venus, all in Virgo in the 3rd house. Wow. Yes. So that's a lot of talking, communicating, and you're precise with your communications. Ashley, that's precision with communication and wanting to be accurate, having all the facts and all the details of communication. Ashley. Lauren said anxiety issues. Yes, for sure. She's a Virgo. I was just looking back on some of this. Yeah, you can wear the colors on your clothes. Yes, technical issue. Yeah, you're having technical issues. Yep. Yeah, so I was just going back in on Facebook. I'm on Instagram Live here too. So I want to pull a card for everybody, and make sure, the other thing is, make sure that not only are you precise with your actions and things leading up to this Virgo full moon, but you want to be able to burn or destroy your new moon manifestation list, okay? All right, so Holly said Venus is in Virgo. So right now, Venus this week is going to be going into the opposite sign of you. So that's Venus in Pisces. You may notice during Venus in Pisces that you might start to have a little activity in the love department, but it might not feel entirely comfortable because remember, those two signs are opposite. So Holly, this next month for you might be a little uncomfortable in the love department. Oh, Ashley. So Ashley asked a question. I am going to pull a card, a collective card for everyone at the end. But if you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, or question about the full moon, or just even about your lives, please let me know. Ashley said, Wendy, okay, Wendy, I'll answer your question. When is the perfect time to burn our manifestation list? So anytime close to that full moon. So you can do it, I kind of like to do it maybe more on the after, but you could do it right before you go to bed on Friday night, depending on what time you go to bed. If you go to bed at like 5 o'clock, I mean, that would be kind of far away, but the peak of it again is 3:17 a.m. Eastern time if you're on the East Coast, or 12:17 a.m. just after midnight on the West Coast. So yeah, you could for sure burn or destroy the list before you go to bed on Friday night, or when you wake up on Saturday morning. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. Could you please pull a card? She filed for a divorce today. So, we didn't talk about that aspect. So I'm going to get back to that. But I want to pull a card for Ashley first. What does she need to know? Let's say, what does she need to know about the new phase of her life? What does she need to know about the new... Ooh, the cards are trying to come out. Yeah. Ashley, the cards are flying out all over the place here. Okay, listen. It's pretty... Okay, you know what to do, and you got to have crystal clear intentions, okay? You know what to do and crystal clear intentions. Ashley, you know what to do, okay? So that's... First, I'll start with that. Archangel Uriel, he always has the lantern. He's trying to show you, you know what to do, okay, what the next step is, whatever, but you have to have clear intentions. Now, sometimes when we file for divorce or we go through a life change, we don't have clarity yet, and it's a little bit hard to move forward until we have that clarity. But I feel like there might be a wavering or a going back and forth in your energy pertaining to the intentions that you have around this. And of course, it's normal to feel torn when you're about to start that big shift like that. Nobody does these things like with a light heart, you know. I mean, it's not easy to get divorced and to make those decisions. So I feel like you just need to have that faith in yourself, because you do know what to do. It's just that you are wavering. Okay, I just pulled a different deck, and look at her. Like, I don't know if you can see Ashley, but she's like, and I'm gonna put it in Instagram as well. She's like this. I don't know. See, you have to have crystal clear intentions. And I'll read you the message on that one. Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and then focus upon it with unwavering faith. There's something in this. Both of these cards indicate that you're wavering on something. So what I would say to you is Archangel Uriel is showing you what to do and you know what to do. Just have faith that you're doing the right thing. I feel that you are doing the right thing. It's just that, you know, sometimes we're torn. Sometimes we're torn. I hope that helps, Ashley. I don't know if you have any other questions, but I hope that helps. Yeah, it is such a big day. So I want to talk also about, and I had forgotten, that's what I was making a mental note when I was speaking. So on Saturday is the big full moon. So the full moon is endings, and this is the time, the lunar cycle time between the full moon and the new moon. Remember, the moon loses light as it heads towards the new moon. The full moon loses light. That's when we're releasing something. We're letting something go. So if you want to do an ending, that's a great time to end something. Is the full moon, between the full moon and the new moon, is a good time to end something, to release something, to let something go. Just like we were manifesting in the last broadcast, new moon. We kept talking about the new moon. Well, now the full moon is when we let things go. Whether that be debt, whether that be a few extra pounds, whether that be toxic friends or toxic relationships or toxic people in our lives. Okay, whether it's clutter, whatever you want to release or purge and get rid of. That's the time to do it during the full moon, and then starting on the full moon, heading into the new moon. We want to release what no longer serves us. It's a good time to just let it go. Let it go. Okay. So I hope that helps, Ashley, because that is a good time to let it go. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, she said, thank you so much. I've been wavering taking that step into the next chapter. Yeah, I can totally tell. I can totally tell. Yes, and Archangel Uriel is Uranus energy. It's also, Archangel Uriel is also associated with Aquarius as well. Yeah, Regina, so I think Ashley got the message, but Regina, yes, she knows what to do. She just is having problems doing it. That's all. No biggie. She just needs to stay with the program. Okay, Lauren said, is there something special to do on the full moon to release people that no longer serve us? Yes, yes. So, almost all magic, manifestation, law of attraction, The Secret, whatever, is based on energy. So, if you want to let someone go, that's so mote it be. You just put it into effect. You can take a person's name and put it on a release list, a very short release list. You don't want to sleep with that under your pillow. You want to leave that more like on an altar or some other area, and then you can go ahead and burn it or destroy it on the next full moon. That's a thing that you can do, Lauren. Oh, Ashley said it's the second separation. See, that makes sense. You were wavering if this is the right thing, but I do think it is. You just have to have crystal clear intentions based on what you're doing there. All right, Zelda 777. You're frustrated. Ashley's frustrated. Okay, Zelda 777. What do you see in my career? Let's do that. She's on Instagram, by the way. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead. Gretchen Heidel. I'm the only Gretchen Heidel on Instagram. It's so I used to not like my name when I was little, like most kids, I guess, don't like their name, but I didn't like my name. And Gretchen's a little old-fashioned name. And now I love it because I'm the only one. So it's good. All right, Zelda, I don't know if you're still on Instagram, but hi, how you doing? I'm going to pull a card for you, my dear. What does Zelda need to know about her career in 2021? What does she need to know about her career in 2021? Oh, interesting. I don't know if you do anything, Zelda, with beauty, design, any kind of thing with, I keep seeing all these flowers and plants around you too. I don't know if you do that for a living or if that's a hobby, but I'm seeing a lot of like almost like gardening or something like that, Zelda. But with your career, I feel like as if you're getting all these cards that are like almost not career cards. It's interesting. Zelda, are you not really into a career right now? Like you're getting cards about parenting and children. You're getting cards about beauty and like beautification. You're getting cards about sexy, that's sexuality, but you're not getting cards based on career. So I'm wondering if you're not really into having a, like, if, you know, it's like kind of something that you sort of need to do, you feel like you should do, but you're not really like totally into it right now. Oh, you work with children. Gotcha. Okay. Do you have them at your home? Okay. All right. Whoop. Do you have them at your home? Because there's I feel like there's some kind of a thing that you I don't know if you teach them or if you do some kind of like preschool daycare kind of a thing, but I almost feel like you need to do that. I keep seeing all these plants around you, Zelda. Do you do anything with gardening? But you want to start a home care program. Gotcha. It's interesting because I do feel like you will, but it's going to take some time, like really take some time. Like I'm almost feeling like as if it's going to be next fall that you're going to step into that thing. But I do see like you teaching like arts and crafts and like just different things like that, Zelda. But there's like... You bought a lot of plants recently. That's so funny. I'm seeing all these plants around you. It's really hilarious. One time, by the way, you guys, I did a session for this girl. She was a really young girl, like in her early 20s. And I was like, what is going on with your shoes? And I kept talking to her about all these shoes. And I was like, something, you have a lot of shoes or something. And she's like, she got like, oh, and she goes, I have over 100 pairs of shoes. Like she was this college girl and she had over 100 pairs of shoes. She like loved shoes and she collected shoes. So Zelda, that was your plants. So I'm just saying you had some plants around you. Not that you have 100, but you had plants. So here's the deal, my friend. You have to save your money because it's going to take some money to get licensed, to have your in-home daycare program, or whatever. It's going to take like, I feel like you're going to need to do like insurance and get like safety things. Like I feel like you need more of a setup, but you can work on that, okay, as you go. But I do feel you're a little distracted. Like I know that you maybe want to do your career, but I do feel like you're kind of, just like you're not living to work right now. Like that's not your thing. Like you have a lot of other responsibilities and other things that are on top of work. So it's going to just take you a little while to get that in-home daycare program going. Okay, but I do feel like you will do it, and it does feel like it's coming in this coming fall 2021. I'm getting like September, October, November, like that time frame for you is really busy. So maybe it's like when the kids go back to school, they go to your house instead of going to school or whatever the case is. But I do feel like you're going to have to do those things. But you got to stay focused. Eye on the prize, my friend. Eye on the prize, okay? Because I feel like you're a little distracted. I hope that helps, my dear friend. Let's see here. Holly wants to know about early retirement. Nice. I can't see some of these here. They sort of got buried, but Holly wants to know, would I pull a card if you should take early retirement? I'm going to pull. You're welcome, Zelda. Anytime. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Zelda. Yes. Okay. Holly, you want to know about early retirement. Holly, do you do skiing, snowboarding, some kind of snowshoeing or something? There's a lot of like that type of thing. I know I live in Vermont and it snowed like crazy recently, but like I feel like you're doing a lot of playing in the snow. Holly, what does Holly need to know about early retirement? faith. Have faith and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so if you play your cards right, Holly, you got to do something here. This Wheel of Fortune is a very good card. What's up must go down, what's down must go up, but usually it's a reversal or a change in fortune. I do think, and because I asked for a clarifying card to this card just to make sure that it was a good fortune, and this is saying have the faith, keep the faith. There might be some sort of like a cashing in or of investments or some kind of like, I almost feel like you have made, I don't know if you pull equity out of your home, you cash out your investments. There's some kind of thing where you're like past self made some good, smart decisions, investments that you can now pull into your present time. It's almost like present self can thank your past self. I love doing work around present self, future self, past self. But your past self, I feel, is going to thank you, because I do think you can retire early. You are getting the Have Faith card, which means this is the card in my deck called Prince of Heaven, and it's like the card that's like let go and let God, or let go and let your angels do the work. But there's something good that is coming, that it almost feels like you get like a chunk of money or some kind of cashing in of money, and you are able to pull it off. You're going to have to be a little bit frugal and a little bit more mindful of your finances, but I do feel that you can do it, Holly. So I hope that helps. Oh, she said she went snowshoeing recently. Yeah, I can feel you. Like you feel like you're outside playing in the snow a lot. Okay, Gwen. I'm gonna pull a card for Gwen, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. It's been, I believe, an hour. So hopefully I can save my video here on Instagram. Last week I lost my video, you guys. I was gonna post it, and I lost the video on Instagram. Cool. I hope that helps, Holly. Holly liked that. Make sure you like and share. Subscribe to my astrology updates page on Facebook. Subscribe to my Instagram and YouTube, because YouTube, I am going to be posting content. I know I keep saying that, but I'm going to be posting content that you can only get on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing a lot of talking about timing and different planetary things. It'll be fun. Numerology. We'll play on YouTube channel. I think that'll be cool. All right, Gwen, I want to answer your question. You're thinking about New York City. What comes up around that? What comes up for Gwen around New York City? Interesting, Gwen. Did you ever live there before, or you wanted to move there and almost did, but then backed out? There's some kind of a past connection, Gwen, with you in New York City. So I don't know if you can answer that, but it feels like this is a revisiting of New York City. It's not like we just like thought of it and have never thought of that before. Like it's like I feel like we're revisiting this idea, and maybe long time ago. Oh yeah, Gwen, you grew up there. There you go, girl. Okay, yeah, because it feels like a long time ago you had this connection with New York City, and then you broke away, and then so a few years, yeah. Okay. Try again and you will succeed. Also ancestral. Nice. So I feel like keep trying. Keep trying. This is not easy, okay, to get there, Gwen. It's not easy to get there to New York City, but it means, this card means try again, you will succeed. So keep going. You might even travel around. This is the World card, so you might even travel. It's almost like you go over the river and through the woods and then you get there. You like to travel around and move around, it feels so yeah. So if but I feel eventually you kind of come back to it, but it takes a little bit, and you might have to really like plan. It's interesting. I don't feel Manhattan. I feel like an outer borough kind of thing, but yeah, I do feel like it would be, I keep getting a really big draw towards Brooklyn. I don't know if Brooklyn is on your radar, but yeah, so that's where I feel you, Gwen. But yes, I feel it could be, but I feel like it's like instead of going here to here, you go here and then over here and over here and over here and then back here. So over the river and through the woods. I hope that helps. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for tonight. I'm going to pull one card that, just to see what we all need to know for this big full moon, Mars trine Pluto. Sun sextile Uranus. Venus moving into Pisces. Okay, what do we all need to know? We might be a little aggressive this week, a little edgy. We might all be New Yorkers, New Jerseyans this week. Careful while you're driving. No honking and flipping the bird while we're driving. Okay, but yes, I feel that what do we all need to know for this big full moon and the last week here of February 2021? What do we need to know? Collectively for everybody. There you go. I love it when they fall out. Clairaudience. Lovely card. If you guys can see. Clairaudience. Okay. That's Archangel Michael. Okay. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Now, I do want to talk about this just really quickly. The clairs, okay, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, there's all the clairs, okay? Clairaudience is the ability to hear messages. Now, people ask me all the time, like, because I'll hear like a phrase or I'll hear a thing, I'll hear some kind of a whatever. People go, well, like, what does it sound like? Okay, 9 times or 8 times out of 10, maybe 7 times out of 10, it sounds like a thought in my head. Like I'll literally hear a phrase like close to home or don't go there or, you know, I saw plants for Zelda. Okay. Like plants. I was seeing all these plants and shrubs and trees and different things. Like I was seeing plants. Okay. But okay. So that's like a clairaudience is the ability to hear messages. And then the other times, the lesser times, but I do get this where I'll literally hear it like an outside voice, like as if like it's a whole person saying something in my ear. And they have come in a mixture of different ways. So what I tell people is when you hear something in your mind, like you're hearing your inner thoughts, or you hear a phrase or you hear something that's coming, okay, pay attention to that. Especially if it's like clear and strong. You know, I mean, that's usually more often than not a clairaudience situation. Okay, and Archangel Michael is great one if you want to like make that one, if you want to harness that gift or make it stronger or whatever. Is clairaudience is a great way of receiving messages. So, yeah. Kristen said, I love the guidance and more frequent and clear each day, trusting it's so fun. Exactly. Oh, Jane, thank you so much. Thank you, Angelic Gretchen. Your medicine is so needed in this world. Thank you, thank you. Corbin, Scorpio, thank you. Juliet's saying thank you. Jocelyn said, so interesting. Katrina, I sometimes hear nursery rhymes that give a solution. Yes. Or sometimes like a song will come on. That's also can be a clairaudience because you're hearing the lyrics, you know, that sometimes messages come in lyrics, whatever. But, you know, we can hear, and it's, you know, I'm saying this without any, I'm not talking about in a prejudice sort of way, but like with schizophrenia, it's a little different, right? Like that's like hearing literally like voices that are disorganized and whatever. That's a different thing. I'm just talking about in your sort of mind's voice that you know, we say things to ourselves all the time. We say things like, oh, you know, your hair doesn't look good today, or your outfit sucks, or you can't do that. What do you know, our inner voice sometimes can be very negative. Or sometimes our inner voice is positive, encouraging, hopefully. But a lot of times it's more negative. But this is almost like, where did that phrase come from, or that thought come from? That's often a clairaudience moment. So sometimes we'll get messages like that, like, don't go down that alley, you know, like, you know, and we'll hear it and like, where'd that come from? That's a clairaudience message. Okay. And yeah, it can be a song. It can be all kinds of things, messages that way. So I hope that helps, and we can be playing that song over and over. I had this one person I used to talk to. Every single time I talked to this person, I would hear this song playing over and over in my head, and it turned out it was definitely accurate. The song that I was hearing for this person was an accurate message. Okay, it wasn't just that it was a song randomly playing in my mind's DJ. It was definitely an accurate message. So yes, I can. Somebody said, can I do a session sometime on the clairs? Yes, I would love to do that. I love talking about the clairs. So anyway, I hope that helps. So when you are going throughout your week this week, okay, listen to the messages that you receive outside yourself, on the radio, or even from another person, a random message. You might be listening to a YouTube video or, you know, a lecture or something, and you'll hear that message is for you. Okay, so, okay. Hope that helps everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Monday night. And definitely make sure that you keep your good center this week, because we will need to have some of that. All right, everybody. If you'd like to have a personalized astrological session with me, please feel free to send me a DM. But better yet is a text message. I love those. Text messages are great. And I am sending you all lots of love, peace, love, light, and happiness.